Big rig. Have fun. There they go. Are we gonna take the engine out today, buddy? Yeah. Yeah? Engine coming out? Are you gonna help me? All right, well, I'm doing what I have not been looking forward to, but looking forward to be doing for a long time. Well, not a long time, probably about a year or so. Now I finally have all the parts together. I got my helper with me right here, of course. It's about 12 o'clock, but we're gonna be pulling the engine out of my 07. So it's got a minor head gasket issue. Only when I'm towing my fifth wheel, going up a grade, it'll puke a little bit of coolant. Doesn't overheat. It runs really good. So that's why I'm a little bit sad to be pulling the engine, because it just runs so smooth and so good right now. But I got new Powerstroke product heads, Powerstroke product lifters, 6.4 push rods, and I'm basically just gonna reseal the whole entire engine. I'm gonna be going on some pretty big trips in the future, so I just want it to be perfect. And so today we're gonna be pulling the engine out. Are you okay? We're gonna be pulling the engine out. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I got my helper here. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. And yeah, so stay tuned. All right, so we are draining all the fluids. I'm draining all the coolant and everything. Oil, trans fluid, all that. I evacuated the AC yesterday after work. But I just wanted to add that I am putting 625s in it. It has the regular ARPs right now. Got a pretty decent deal on the 625, so I just thought, perfect. So back in 2015, I studded the truck. I did an oil cooler, EGR cooler, all that stuff in 2014, and in 2015 I did the heads that I got from my work back in 2015 on it. I did the whole job in probably about 24 hours. I didn't update the push rods, didn't update the lifters. I literally just pulled the cab one night, did the studs, torqued everything down, put the cab back down just because I wanted the truck studded. So I wouldn't have done it that way today. So that's why this time around, and the head's held for a long time actually. I think it's just when I started towing a little bit heavy, that's kind of when the head gasket issue started occurring again. I don't think I did the best prep work back then either, just because I did it. I literally torqued the heads at like 3 in the morning 10 years ago. The truck doesn't overheat or anything like I was saying. It runs so good. But this time around, I'm doing it the right way. I just thought I would throw that out there. But all right, well, we got a lot of work to do, so let's get with it. So we got the wife doing yard work and me working on the truck. Tomorrow's Easter, right? Yeah. So we're setting up for Easter. So far, so good. Thickum bolt stripped out. I had to get a socket extractor to get that off. And then also one of the turbo bolts. It's kind of hard to see down in there. Oh, there it is. Broke off too. A couple little stupid things that never happened to me, only on my own truck. Never fails. My hard-working wife. She's perfect. Here's that bolt right there. That would not come out. Snapped right off. Snapped the head off. So it was a little hard to get the turbo off. I mean, these turbos usually take me like 30 minutes to swap in and out. That's what I love about the 6.0s. So we'll have to get that out at some point. My stage 1 turbo. one thing my dumb ASS forgot was the fan clutch to the set. Forgot that at work, so I might have to drive down to my work to go grab that. I mean, maybe I could go to O'Reilly's and get something. I need something for my house. There's certain little things that I always have to bring from my work to home, and that was one thing I forgot. I'm probably gonna have to drive to my work, fortunately. And it is a little bit easier to pull the power steering pump, set that aside with the fan clutch out of the way. So I do kind of want to pull the fan clutch off, but ready? What do you think? Here's what I'm looking for. Well, I had to come to my work. O'Reilly's didn't have the fan clutch up, and I am starving. Luckily, I got banana chips that we're snacking on. But I'm gonna have to get an extra fan clutch set for the house. Either way, we got it. Now we can go back to work and get lunch, right, son? Yeah. So pretty much at this point, I just gotta unbolt the trans. I'm probably gonna pull the whole trans out because I want to pressure wash and paint it. But as you can see, pull the power steering pump. I'm gonna pull that aside. I did pull the AC compressor only because I want to get to the trans lines that are connected to the block. There's like a 10 mil that kind of holds it to the block. But other than that, I mean, the core support for like the intercooler that goes right here, the AC condenser and stuff's out. I'm gonna try to pull it all the way to about right here and then go up. And what else? I don't know. That's about it. I told somebody the other day, this guy's truck that I was working on, that I could pull a motor in 4 hours. Well, I guess I bit my words on that because I'm about 6-7 hours. But I had to go down to my work, eat, do a bunch of other knick-knack stuff as always. It's never just straight through. I think if I just focused and went to town on the engine and all that stuff, I can get it out pretty quickly. But at home, it always takes longer, no matter what. It's never as easy. There's always some little stupid thing that I don't have, but it's all right. We're not in a hurry. We'll work till it's out. That's all that matters. All right. Well, I'm about to pull the engine out. I'm gonna have my wife kind of help me guide it out. We got the trans out. All of that. Trans is out. I'm gonna paint it and pressure wash paint it. And then, so it's all nice and clean. And about 2 seconds, the engine gonna be out. Long time coming. Well, there she is. She's out of there. Yeah, the Harbor Freight cherry picker, it's not the greatest. I mean, it works well. I just wish the forks would extend out a little bit longer, and then also where it actually picks up comes out a little bit longer, because I had to lift it really, really tall. I did end up pulling the grill off, just because it was just at such an angle, and then I had a ratchet strap on it to kind of like pull it up a little bit. But either way, we got it out, and yep, no more engine. So I'm probably gonna pressure wash all this and just clean it up a little bit, and maybe paint it and throw some low gloss paint on there. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to show kind of show how I'm pulling it out. But more or less, I'm hoping to kind of show, well, yeah, I'm hoping to show more of putting it in. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time showing how to take it out. I'm kind of gonna show like breaking it down, cleaning everything up, torquing the heads, all that, and we'll spend more time kind of doing that. And then once I'm ready to kind of put it back in, I'll show more of that than actually taking it out, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, it's out, and I am tired. I am really tired. Tomorrow's Easter. But yeah, we'll start breaking it down probably Monday. I'll probably start breaking it down Monday, get everything cleaned, nice and painted, and then yeah, we'll start throwing it back together. But for today, I am calling it a night. Okay, well, you can see I got the engine inside. It's Thursday. I know I said I'd probably be tearing it apart Monday. It's 9 o'clock right now. It's starting kind of late. No worries. And but yeah, no, here it is on the stand anyways. So yeah, we'll try to get the alternator, intake manifold, wiring harness, all the pulleys, and just, I don't know, we'll just see where we get, see how tired I get. I really only like to work till about 10 or 11. I can work till 1 in the morning. It's just the following day I'm freaking dead. So I'll only really do that on Fridays. I'll do it on Fridays or Saturdays. I just have to have a day of rest the next day. During the week, I don't really like working past 11. So yeah, it's about 9 something right now. So we got a couple hours, and yeah, we'll see where we get. Something too as well, I always blow out all right here, anywhere like where the intake manifold is sitting. You don't want any nuts, anything to fall inside there. We're not reusing these heads, and I'm taking the heads off and all that stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if we were pulling the intake manifold off inside the truck, or say cab was off or whatever, you always just kind of want to blow this out with an air gun. I've been taught that since the very beginning. I've seen it happen to where, nut falls in there, or a copper washer, or, and just completely just destroys the piston. So it's real bad day. So you definitely don't want to do that. And just always remember that. I've heard other people talk about that, but anyways, I just thought I'd mention it. It's good rule of thumb there for sure. We got the valve covers off, injectors out. We got the high pressure oil pump cover off. Good portion of the top of the engine for sure. Not bad, with like, I don't know, a little over an hour. I think I started just a little past 9. And it's about 10:40. So I'm probably gonna call it a night. Just because I don't want to burn myself out. And tomorrow I'm gonna try to push a lot, get the heads off. We're going all the way down to the bed plate. I'm resealing the bed plate, and upper lower oil pan, all that stuff. I don't want any more leaks. Resealing the front cover as well, and basically everything else. So tomorrow I'm gonna get it all the way down to the bed plate, front cover off, heads off, so then we can take everything Saturday to my work, clean, paint everything, and then after that hopefully start reassembling everything. But for tonight I think I'm just gonna call it. And we've made a mess, so you know that's always good. We've got the oil rails in there. My tools were kind of just everywhere. I should have organized stuff a little bit better because I kept trying to look for just like the Torx 30, Torx 45. I don't know. Tomorrow I'm gonna kind of reorganize. Luckily I got everything, you know, in my own little area over here. But luckily nothing is moving here, as far as I know. Unless Les Jetson comes in here and he decides to start going through all my parts and tools and everything, which he does do that time to time. So wouldn't put it past him. But yeah, tomorrow we'll get back with it, and hopefully we'll get it all the way down to the bed plate. That's my goal. Okay, so now we're gonna get off the heads, the upper lower oil pan, bed plate, rear cover, HBOP, oil cooler. What else am I forgetting? Yeah, basically everything. Everything, so then we can go down to my work tomorrow, get everything clean, painted, and then hopefully start putting everything back together probably Monday. I don't know if I'm gonna work Sunday. I might just take like a small break. But yeah, that'll be the goal for tonight, I believe. So we'll see where we get. All right, well, we're gonna start taking the heads off. Got the front cover off. The front cover doesn't look too terribly bad. There's a little bit of pitting I saw. I remember when I changed my water pump a couple years ago, probably like 3 years ago, it looked just like this. So it hasn't gotten any worse. I kind of want to get a new front cover, but yeah, I remember probably, gosh, I don't know, had to have been like 4 years by now, maybe 5, but it looked exactly like this. So it hasn't gotten any worse, which is nice. There's no scoring or anything where the low pressure pump goes, which is nice. Sometimes I see, even if a lifter doesn't go through it, there's a little bit of like scoring and stuff in there, but that's good. So I don't know, I may or may not use the front cover. Kind of want to get a new one, but they're like $600 from Ford, so we'll see. But yeah, I remember when I painted these rocker boxes blue. So that was the first time I did the heads back in 2015. And yeah, we were painting everything and stuff probably like 2, 3 in the morning. And yeah, and then the next morning I think I set the cab back down and I got everything together. So it was kind of a rush job. But anyways, yeah, we'll get the heads off. And then, yeah, probably bed plate, rear cover, or maybe oil cooler, high pressure oil pump, one or the other, and then go from there. So whenever I stud trucks, I always try to do the lifters as well, just because it is a failure point after a certain mileage. I mean, it depends. I mean, I see some trucks go for a long time, no issues at all. But while you're in there, it is a good idea to change the lifters. The only problem is you have to remove the rear cover, so you got to remove the trans, but there's this branch tube that goes to the high pressure oil pump that's right in the way, that goes on both sides. So that's the only you know, the drawback of changing the lifters when you do heads, but it is well worth it, because if a lifter goes bad, then it'll destroy the cam, and then most shops, you know, it's pretty much short block at that point. They're not going to pull the cam and try to. I mean, a bunch of, you know, needle bearings and stuff too can go through the engine, but it is possible to do it that way. Just change the cam. But usually, yeah, it'll destroy the front cover, low pressure pump, all that stuff. So it is a little bit more work, but to me, it is well worth it. And of course, since we have the engine out, of course, we're changing the lifters. But that is just something to keep note of for sure. It's, in my opinion, it's well worth it. So whether it's cab off or engine out, if you know, cab off, just separate the trans. You know, it's a little more work, but yeah, that's just the way I would do it personally. Well, we got the bed plate off, and we basically got it all disassembled, so we can start washing all the parts for tomorrow, which I'm pretty happy about. I think it's around 12 right now, 12 a.m. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. The main bearings and everything look really good. Obviously, that's on the other side of the crank, but yeah, I mean, the crank looks good. There's no scoring or anything, but main bearings right here, yeah, I mean, look really good. There's no like copper coming through or anything. A couple little like wear marks, which is pretty normal, but it's a lot better than what I've seen before when we put the bed plate on. So I'm pretty happy about that. I did kind of think about putting like a short block in it, but it's just not really in the budget. Thought about doing like short block with like stage 1 cam or something from maybe J&K or someone. It's kind of what I did with my 03, and then I put kill devil heads on it. So with this one, I'm doing the Powerstroke product heads, of course, but I think we'll be good. The truck ran, like I was saying, it ran really good, real strong, no blow by. I mean, the things always ran great, honestly. So I think we'll be just fine. You know, maybe another 100,000 miles or something, I'll just put a full long block in it or something if I still have it at that point. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, I think we're gonna just wrap it up for tonight, and then tomorrow we are going to clean everything. Man, when you get everything apart like this, it's like, oh man, do I really want to put all this back together? It'll be fine. It's pretty easy taking it apart, but it takes about twice as long putting it back together, cleaning all the bolts. The way I want to do it, I'm so picky. I like cleaning every little thing. And I like to clean the block and get in all the little crevices and stuff, and then kind of just paint it, make it look nice. But it takes a lot of time. So I don't know how pretty I'm gonna make it. It's still gonna be prettier than most people's jobs, I'm sure, but we'll see. And but yeah, well, tomorrow we're gonna clean everything up and go from there. Okay, well, we got all the parts clean, and we're gonna start putting everything back together today. I got everything clean to the way I like it, painted, primed, all that stuff. Got the rocker boxes all nice and clean. I'm literally never gonna paint anything ever again. That blue paint took me way too long to get off. Got the front cover all cleaned up, and I'm gonna reuse that. I think the front cover's fine. Oil cooler cover, all that stuff clean, and exhaust manifolds, got those all painted. I'm sure the paint won't last too long on this, but it looks good for pictures and videos, so we'll be good. And then, yeah, I'm gonna put the bed plate on. I'll show you guys how to torque the bed plate. And yeah, after that, then we'll probably start doing the lifters, heads, all that stuff. It's Saturday, so I'm gonna try to make a good dent this weekend. And yeah, I'm hopefully gonna get everything together on the engine this weekend to where it's ready to drop in the truck. That's my plan anyways. And then I got my little helper right here. I don't know if he's a helper or a big distraction. One or the other. But he is entertaining, that's for sure, and motivating. All right, well, we got a lot of work to do on this thing. So better get started. So I got all the bolts numbered here with the paint pen. So this is the torque pattern that you want to go, and you kind of start in the middle and then kind of work your way out. It's pretty easy. I always just number them because sometimes I don't have it fully memorized, and then if I forget, then you know, you just get lost. It's easy to, just because there's so many bolts. So I always just number them. I don't have it quite memorized like I do the head studs. But yeah, that's the torque pattern that we're going to be going in. So first you're going to torque all of them to 90. Then 120, and then 170 is the last stage. And then I don't actually have the little bolts that normally go here, the 10s. So it's just the main stud bolts. And then, but yeah, we're gonna get that all torqued down, and then probably upper oil pan and then lower oil pan. Also, too, I just wanted to say I always put a little bit of assembly lube on the main bearing. So whenever I do the bed plate, I always put a little bit of assembly lube on there because you don't want to put it back together dry. Ford says you can put clean motor oil, and I'm sure that's just fine. But I've been putting the assembly lube on there for years, and it's working just fine. So I just kind of keep doing it that way. I'm sure any kind of grease or something just to prevent it from starting up dry will work. But yeah, this seems to work really good. So I'll put some of this on the push rods and a couple other things, but just to let you guys know, just keep that in mind whenever you're doing the okay, so we got the torque wrench set to 90, and that's going to be our first torque spec. Sometimes I'll actually strap the engine down a little bit. 16. 20. Last one. All right, so we got the first torque spec, 90 foot-pounds. So then after that, you would just basically just follow that same pattern again, and then you would do 120 and then 170, and you should be good. So I got the lower oil pan, upper oil pan, bed plates on there, all nice. I might paint it with some black spray paint and the block itself a little bit, but yeah, other than that, I mean, it looks pretty good. Clean the surface of the block, nice. You know, these stains right here, you're never gonna get out. So the way I do it, I usually just get like a razor blade. I'll go over all the little stuff, just nice and gentle, and I'll usually back it up with the vacuum. So as I'm doing it, it's kind of going into the vacuum, so nothing's falling into like any of the cooling jackets and stuff. And then after that, I'll get the like block stone. Basically, it's kind of like a knife sharpening tool. So then I'll get some ZEP 45, and I'll go over the block and just make a bunch of passes, probably like 40 passes or so on the block. And then I'll blow out all the holes where the studs go, and then I'll chase them. I don't know where my cap is. Here it is. Yeah, so I'll tap them, get like any debris or anything that's in the holes, and then I'll blow it out with my air gun. And then I'll kind of just, vacuum the pistons and stuff, just get all the stuff, kind of lingering around that just falls into the cylinder and stuff. So that's kind of how I clean the surface of the block. And like all these like stains and different things, those don't usually ever come out. And you don't need to see it like perfectly shining. And the only way you'll do that is if you like deck the block, send it to the machine shop or something. But that's usually how I do it. But yeah, we're gonna start putting the lifters in. I always set the lifters in like a thing of oil and just get them all nice and soaked, so they're all nice and lubed. You'll see some air bubbles come out of them. That's how I've been doing it. We've got the Powerstroke product lifters here. So we'll throw the lifters in, and then after that, throw the heads on. We'll probably rear cover first, or lifters, rear cover, then heads. I'll show you guys how to torque down the heads and everything. I'll just probably do like the first step. I don't want to bore people doing the whole entire thing. There's millions of videos out there that show how to do that. So I won't do that, but I'll show a little bit of it quick before we put the heads on. I just wanted to show you guys the Powerstroke product heads. They are a beautiful head. Huge fan of them. We've had very, very good luck with them. Obviously, I was saying that I'm doing the Powerstroke product lifters. So where I work at the shop, we use Powerstroke product lifters and cylinder heads all the time. On my 03, I've got KDD heads, but I got these ones for my personal truck through my work, of course. And they are very nice, very, very nice. They've got the thicker casting, so where they're less prone to crack. And they're also jokesters, of course. They always like to make fun of California, which I think is pretty funny because we're in California. And then they like to put this kind of stuff on their heads too, which I think is pretty funny as well. But yeah, they're amazing product, and I don't think we've ever had, honestly, one problem that I can think of. So I'm pretty excited, pretty stoked to get them on my own truck, and I'm sure it's going to run real good. And then of course we've got the 625 ARPs. They just look amazing sitting in the box. I don't even want to put them on the truck. They just look too pretty sitting there. And then this is obviously the torque sequence that we're going to be doing, which is just like the normal torque sequence. And then unlike the regular ARPs, we're going to be torquing these to 265 for the final torque, and which I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. But yeah, before I put the heads on, I just kind of wanted to, show you guys how nice they are. And then before you guys put heads on too, I always blow out like the fuel rail right there where the fuel plug sits. I always blow that out and just kind of, give the head a nice, just, blow with the air gun and just blow through the intake right here and stuff. Just make sure there's nothing, no styrofoam or anything like that left in the head. And yeah, I think you'll be just fine, and hopefully I'll be just fine as well. But yeah, well, let's start getting these heads on. So we got the heads on, we got all the studs in, all the rockers, push rods, all that stuff's in there, and we're finally to the point where we're going to be torquing that to the very first torque spec, which is 90 foot-pounds. And yeah, I always put a little bit of assembly lube on all the push rods too. Make sure they're all nice and even in there and inside where the rockers are and everything, that little cup. And what I always do with the studs is I'll go basically hand tight. I see some people, they'll kind of go back just a little bit. I'll get an Allen and I'll get it tight, and then I'll kind of just barely loosen it. Or if you just bottom it out, you just barely, that's how I do it. I'm using Victor Rein's head gaskets. I've used Felpro, Molly, Victor Rein's OEM. Powerstroke products, they want you to use either Molly or Victor Rein's or OEM just because of where the O-ring placement is. I've asked them this before, and I guess some different head companies place the O-rings a little bit different. And so for these heads, they told me they want you to use either they just don't want you to use Felpro, and it'll actually tell you in the paperwork when you open the box. So just be aware of that. And then, there's something else I was gonna add. Now I forget. Anyways, we'll torque it down to that first spec and then go from there. I'll probably just do that first, the first torque sequence, and then that's probably it, because it's the same for the other side, and it's just, I don't want to bore you with torquing the whole heads, the whole entire process. So I'll just do the first 10 studs, 90, and then call it good from there. The torque pattern, obviously you can read the paper, but it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I actually have that memorized, unlike the bed plate. We got our torque wrench to 90, so it's all set up for that first round of torquing. I had to shut the garage. The freaking lighting was just so bad. There's the fun part. Try to do nice even strokes. 1. Boom. First set. Yeah, this is my 300 foot-pound torque wrench. So we're going to 265 today on the studs. So on my 03, that's the whole reason, because I have 625s on my 03 as well. So that's the whole reason why I traded in my old one, just so I could do my studs on my other truck. But this one's nice because it gives it like a little bit extra of an extension too. I think the 251 goes to about here. So this one, more torque and then more leverage too, which is cool. I'm probably just gonna start putting everything else back together, torquing the heads. I'll do little bits of information here, there. I need to have the truck, let's see, today is May 3rd. Need to have the truck running by May 23rd, which I could do it, but when I'm working and everything else, it's hard sometimes. But I'm going on a camping trip to tow with my fifth wheel for Memorial Weekend, so I got to get it done. So I'm gonna try to today. I'm gonna try to get it to where it's gonna be ready to drop in the truck next week, I'm hoping. So yeah, I gotta get to work and get it done. So we got the engine all back together, harness, everything on there, high pressure oil pump, intake manifold, oil coolers all sealed up, all new gaskets. I reused my factory Ford oil cooler, not the original cooler that came with it, but the oil cooler I put on there years back. It was perfect, temps were perfect, so I didn't want to mess with it. So I just resealed it. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt. I don't think it will. But yeah, everything's back together, painted pretty nicely. You can see the 625s are on there, looking really good. Yeah, I got a Victor Rein's rear main seal. I always like to use the Motorcraft rear main seal. I didn't really realize it when I got it, but I think it'll be fine. If anything, I guess I'd have to separate the trans again, but I got it on there. I used the rear main seal tool, so it went on there really nicely. But yeah, everything looks pretty good. Everything's all clean. New glow plug harnesses, new glow plugs. This module's not too old, so I just left that. I didn't have any glow plug codes, anything before. I've got all new pulleys on there, freaking dual alternators. You got like 5 million pulleys. So the only thing I didn't replace is the secondary tensioner. I did actually have a secondary pulley, and so I got that on there, but I'm kind of missing one that goes, I think it goes right here. Anyways, yeah, there's about 5 million freaking pulleys on the dual alternator setup. I thought about just changing it to the single alternator and then getting like a real nice single alternator, like a DC alternator or something. But for now, I think it'll be fine. This setup's ran good for 250,000 miles, so I'm not gonna mess with it. I did notice, let's see, where is it? Oh, the cam positioning sensor pigtail. It's a little bit frayed right here. So I am going to put a new pigtail on there. Other than that, I mean, it's looking real clean. Everything's real nice. There's nothing real special about this. I mean, it's kind of a boring build, sort of. I mainly need it to just be reliable, tow my trailer, go on road trips with it. That's really like kind of the point of it, is I guess like a, I don't know, a tow pig kind of build. But there's other things that I wanted to do. It's when you're doing something like this though, it's just every little thing. It's, oh, I should replace this sensor, or since I'm there, I should replace this and replace that and replace this, and before you know it, you're spending thousands of dollars on everything. I had a good set of new Motorcraft injectors. They weren't brand new, but I had got them from a friend secondhand that had really low miles. Put those in there. And then eventually I'm going to be doing the 190/30s for my 03. Said that a few times. So then that might be for another video. And also it's kind of funny because I actually have a ODOG SR3. So I've got an SR3 in my 03, but I also have another one that I was going to put on this truck. But a friend of mine, he wanted the SR3 and I was going to trade him the SR2 because I don't, you know, either one's fine with me. But he wanted the SR3, so I'm probably going to do that in a future video where I'm going to be putting the ODOG SR2 on this, and then maybe I'll do the SR3 on his truck. He's got a really clean Harley truck, so that's kind of my plan for that. But for now, I'm going to run the stock intake. He has my SR3. He's going to get it polished. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't put it on now. It'd be really practical to do it now. Obviously, when the engine's out, it's really easy to do anything. I mean, you could do injectors in probably 20 minutes with the engine out. But yeah, it's pretty much ready to put in. So I'm gonna clean a few things on the truck itself, where the engine actually sits, kind of like that. I guess you would call it the, I don't know, it's the frame, I'm spacing out exactly the term, but basically right where the engine sits, I'm gonna clean that all up. Get that all nice and clean as best I can, and then I'm probably going to pull the trans out, pressure wash it, just kind of clean it, paint it, and everything's not going to be exactly perfect. I'm kind of on a time crunch, like I was saying. I'm going to be towing my fifth wheel, so I need it back together, and I need to just try to get it best I can. Everything will be fine. Everything looks great, and I'm pretty happy with it. You can go, I mean, you can spend so much time doing this kind of stuff, and I really do that sometimes. My 03, it took me actually a long time to get that thing together, and I'm getting this done within a span of a few weekends. So yeah, today we are gonna set it back in the truck. So I'm pretty stoked. So I should have it running within the next few days. I believe, working on it just little by little.